Welcome to Porcelain Peak, a strange and scary podcast dissecting all things horror and sci-fi. Here are your hosts, or what's left of them, Tone, John, and Anthony. Enjoy the trivia while you can.
Welcome to the final episode of Season 4 of Porcelain Peeps.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why.
That's
just a
Is that Dido or is that Eminem?
That's your guess, fans, of which version I was singing. But yeah, that was my immediate sad song that popped into my
Song?
head. Yeah, when I was thinking
Season
about
4, it won't be the
Season 4.
end. We're going to have a Season 5. We'll talk more about that
This
later.
is the end.
But before we get started, here's what we're doing. We got some news about this fucking guy right here, which is Bruce Campbell, if you're listening. And then we're going to play trivia one last time of the season. And then we're going to have our second annual Todd Browning Award. See what your votes got. And then for our final cut, we're going to do a little recap of our favorite moments from Season 4 and tell you what to look forward to with Season 5.
And all of these segments are going to be extra dark and cutthroat in trivia. I'm going to be asking John finally why he slept with my wife.
I didn't know you had a wife.
And that was the problem, John. You still slept with her.
It's because your last name was Dish, and someone asked him to do the dishes. All right, we're going to get started with that chop talk.
One last time, eat my ass with a side of grass.
Why don't you take an axe and chop it open?
All right, fellas, how you feeling today?
One word, groovy.
Oh, all right. Happy to hear it, John. How are you feeling?
Gravy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know any other G words.
Gory.
All right.
There you
Fair
go.
enough. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to start. We got some news, but we'll get to that later. Big thing is Bruce Campbell. They had an event this weekend in Sacramento, our state's capital, where we got to meet the guy and take a picture with him, which some of you may or may not have seen. And in addition, we got to watch Evil Dead, right?
The Evil Dead.
Evil Dead with him.
For the remake, they were like, drop the just Evil Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
And in a fashion that he liked to call stoppy starty.
Stoppy starty, yeah.
Where he would pause it and then give us kind of a commentary.
Imagine if
throughout
we
the whole
did
thing.
commentaries like that, how fucking long they would take.
Oh,
How fucking long will they be? The experience itself was phenomenal. And so we'd like to thank all of our patrons who helped us get there. We could not have
VIP.
done that without you. I guess we could have, but we wouldn't have done it probably.
yeah.
So we did do VIP, which got us access to all of that stuff. In addition, we got signed prints by him.
It also gave the Porcelain Peak boys an excuse to spend a day together outside of the realm of the podcast, which does not happen super frequently with us. The podcast is largely an excuse for us to all get together every week, so it was nice for us to go out and
Have a little road trip.
Hit up a record store, hit up a Jack in the Box that almost killed me.
Did you end up eating the rest of that chicken sandwich?
I did. I couldn't.
why,
I couldn't
dude.
help myself. No, I felt better by then, and I was like, I could stuff a little bit more of this in my face. But at the time, like right after, it was a combination of things. It was so we got Jack in the Box in a hurry, and it was like the most disgusting Jack in the Box. So we get the food, and it's already sus. We eat it in the car, which is fine. But then we had to go stand in that hot-ass line for like an hour.
We stood in line. Luckily, it was shade. Still was 103 degrees out for about an hour, yes. Then we got inside, had to wait another half an hour standing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I sat down because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Then he came
Hey,
in.
you paid for VIP, man. You can sit down.
We got to take pictures. And then after we sat down, after the pictures were done, we still had to wait another 90 minutes before the movie started.
That's when we really hit our descent into hell, was when we sat down in those theater seats and the bodies started coming in, and they really packed that theater out. Like,
I'm pretty sure it was sold out. Yeah.
It was 85, 90 degrees inside of that building.
That was crazy, yeah. But
And he was in
super cheap.
He was in a full fucking suit.
He's the
I'm
talent.
like, how? How you
He's,
survive?
he's cold-blooded, baby.
Yeah, so basically, if it wasn't for Bruce, it would have probably been pretty rough. But he is like the coolest fucking dude.
Yeah, like I said in the post, when I briefly talked about it, he is just as hilarious
And charismatic
and insightful as you would think that he was if you've ever listened to an interview with him or really just seen him being Ash, because that's basically just how he acts in like later Ash,
yeah.
not early Ash, but
from
later
the
Ash, from Ash versus Evil Dead specifically. Like,
exactly.
It's definitely exactly who he is. But yeah, he came out on stage when the movie was ready. Basically, it was set up where we watched it on the movie theater screen. He had a little TV monitor in front of him and a remote. And he fired up the movie. Beforehand, he came out and basically did like a stand-up routine.
Yeah, like he did like a Type 5, and then
Yeah.
was just like talking about how much California gets a bad rap and how
Yeah, he was like, you guys don't have
Texas
any water, but if anybody else says that you suck, it's because they're from a shittier state. And like everybody was, going crazy. And then he answered a few questions. One guy said that he had never seen Evil Dead, but was a huge Bruce Campbell fan and had seen the sequels. So
That
Bruce,
was so funny. He was like, "You're a huge fan of me, but you haven't seen the thing that people 90% of the time know me for."
yeah, he was like 75% of my career comes from this movie, basically. So he like grilled that guy for a while. He asked who had seen Evil Dead the most. One guy said he had seen it like 100 times. So he like out of his pocket gave the guy $5 for therapy. It was great. And then once the movie started, just like every 5 minutes he would just pause it and tell a hilarious
faster
story.
than that. It was literally every like 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, and just give a hilarious story about how they made something, who he lost his virginity to on the set, where the garden hoses are sticking out of the appliances, and it was great because really, I mean, I talked a little bit about this before we got on recording, but like for me, Evil Dead 2 is the crown jewel of the Evil Dead franchise, and I don't usually go back to the first Evil Dead very often, but it made it obviously 1,000 times more enjoyable to have the guy, like to be able to look and see Ash on screen and then see a 40 years older version of him sitting right there, and he is just talking about like every little minute detail of how they made the movie. The only thing that would have made it cooler would be to have
Sam Raimi was there too.
If the theater itself was cooler.
Yeah.
Temperature wise, yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing that I think I took away from this, other than just having a fantastic time, not only with my boys, but also with Bruce fucking Campbell,
who really I
super
think
dope.
we should consider one of the boys now.
Yeah. I think the thing that I took away from it the most is just the way that they filmed this movie. It makes you want to go out and film shit.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, all we did was just put our lives on the line. We didn't spend a lot of money. We just
firing real shotguns through windows and just telling the cameraman, just go over there, just run, and I'll shoot this through the window.
Yeah, literally every one of their lives was in danger by a pretty significant margin. But
Some people got hurt.
Yeah.
Real badly, too.
there was a really cool result at the end. And like I said, it turned out really well. It kickstarted a lot of careers. And I think
Campbell, Raimi, maybe even the Coen brothers to some extent.
Yeah, because the Coen brothers...
it was Joel. Joel edited one of like the more like fast-paced scene.
Basically like the template for every scene in Evil Dead when they go into a workshop and like he makes the chainsaw hand and everything. But and then now even launching careers like Fede Alvarez for the remake, and then you have... Lee Cronin, who is doing the new one, like the fact that 40 years later we're getting another Evil Dead movie, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. There's some news about that in Chop Talk.
Oh, I wanted to ask him about it so badly, but
when I checked, it didn't show that he had any sort of role in it, just that he was an executive producer, but obviously he is involved, and I wanted to either ask him about Bubba Hotep or the Pizza Papa, but he did mention the Pizza Papa, and it was really fun to go back and rewatch Multiverse of Madness and watch that whole scene with him and be like, I just shook hands with that guy. Like, that's so fucking cool. Like, I'm still like in a weird fog about whether that was real or like in a really, really like crazy dream that I had. But you guys are...
You got Morpheus.
Yeah. The dreaming.
What I really appreciated about him in general was that, he made fun of people in the crowd. He poked fun, right? Which I thought was funny. I don't know how they felt about it, but I was like, he's just kind of an ass, but in a funny, like charming, playful way.
Yeah.
But he's also hard on himself too, because even during some of the scenes, he'd be like, "You try to deliver that line, like I'm sorry."
Yeah,
like,
he's basically cracking up about how dumb his character is, and not dumb in like the Three Stooges goofy way that he would end up being, but just a dumb like dumb horror protagonist. He's he spends most of that movie, which I never really realized. He spends most of that movie just standing around.
like
not helping anybody and just letting everybody else deal with it until it literally gets to the point where everybody else is a demon besides him, and then he's like, okay, now I have to be the hero of the movie.
Yeah, so I love that he was able to kind of poke fun at himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also hated the shoes that he had to wear for that shoot.
Oh, the elf shoes, as he called them. Yeah.
I was like, those are dope. I think I have those.
Hated the elf shoes, and also really hates Sam Raimi's car.
Piece of shit. Yeah, he started going off about the car, which also made it hilarious when the car shows up in Multiverse of Madness. I was just like, everything means more now because I've heard behind the scenes. Like, I've heard it from the dude.
So yeah, I mean, if you get a chance to see anything with him, then highly recommend, because he's fantastic.
We're really hoping that he has another kid that needs to go to college, because I would love to see him do Evil Dead 2, and then I would love to see him do Army of Darkness.
Love to see Army of Darkness. Yeah, I think that would be rad.
Just be like, our commentary's better.
I would do. All right, but that'll wrap it up for that discussion. What other news did you have, big guy?
Well, crazy enough, I'm going to start out with Army of Darkness news. Scream Factory is putting out a 4K Ultra HD with hours and hours of special features.
Yeah,
if you were an Army of Darkness fan, then check that out. Evil Dead Rise was originally going to be an HBO Max release. They have now upgraded it to have a theatrical release, and it will be coming out April 21st of next year.
You don't see that too often.
Yeah, with everything going on with Warner Brothers right now, and then basically, I guess the new news, this is a slight tangent, I won't go too far into this, but the new news is that they're doing so poorly financially right now that they only have enough money to release 2 more movies this year, which is Black Adam and one other one that I can't think of right off the top of my head. That's
crazy.
But
HBO Max ain't doing shit, or what?
Their stock has plummeted too after all the announcements that they made.
It's been on a steady decline over the course of the last year, but specifically in the last 3 weeks with all of the news that's been going around about the DC situations, it's just
I noticed that
falling off the fucking face of a cliff.
Sandman says WB production at the beginning of it. So was this supposed to be a HBO
Look, it's
show?
technically a DC property.
That's what I'm saying. So why is it on that would have made him a shit ton of money, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know enough about streaming. If it was a case where they were like, okay, we don't want it enough, but you can put it on Netflix, because there's other stuff like that where Netflix obviously has WB movies. There isn't a monopoly on them only. There's always contracts with those streaming services and weird stuff.
It also would have had to directly compete with House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
which just came out as well.
And I watched the first episode, and if you want to hear my thoughts on that, I'll let you know at some other point. No, I mean,
good call.
Pretty much everybody is in agreement that the end of Game of Thrones sucked. I watched this first episut with 0 expectations, and I really, really loved it, and am very excited for more. It put me right back in that Game of Thrones world,
and early seasons, fun.
Yeah,
time
and I was
stuff.
like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm super excited to see how Matt Smith as a Targaryen,
one of them Targaryens.
Yeah, how they all get all fucked and get fucked. But yeah, Evil Dead Rise, April 21st, 2023. So check that out. The Hellraiser franchise, we've talked about Hulu having a new Hellraiser movie that's coming out. The release date is October 7th of this year. Hulu's Hellraiser is happening very soon. Like we talked last week or the week before, it is rated R for lots of bloody, goopy shit. So,
some sexual.
Yes, some sexual.
Sexuality.
Goodnight Mommy, which is from the
Twisted Minds.
The Twisted Minds of some people who did
other stuff.
What's the movie with Alicia Silverstone where she blows her brains out?
Clueless.
The Lodge. Oh. The director. As F. So I really, really like Goodnight Mommy, the original. It's about a woman who comes back from plastic surgery all bandaged up. She has twins. They start to believe that it's not actually their mom and start to fuck with her. The remake is coming to Amazon in September and stars Naomi Watts as the mom.
What's she do?
What's with her in remakes? I don't know. She did Funny Games. She did The Ring. Yeah. She's just big into horror remakes.
I think she did one of the Invasion movie. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think she did. So it's her, and then the kid from The Boys who plays Homelander's son. I didn't know until recently that they're actually twins. that play that role.
Oh.
And so they're playing the two
Nice.
twins in this movie. So
Was the original movie foreign? And they're doing like an
they're
American...
doing an American remake.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well,
But I like Naomi Watts, so that was enough for me to go, okay,
Yeah.
I'll check it out. And
any
if
idea
it's
who's directing?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But it's going to Amazon, so I don't have to pay for it. And
It's our big thing.
King Kong, you guys heard about this guy? You
Yeah.
heard about how he ain't got shit on me? Yeah.
I have heard that specifically.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a live action series in the works for Disney Plus, which I think is interesting because I would have thought it would have been with Warner Brothers and HBO.
What the fuck is
Again,
happening?
I have no clue how these rights things work. And I know King Kong specifically is one of those things where those rights belonged to a different company than like the Godzilla rights, and they had to do some wheeling and dealing, which is why Godzilla vs. Kong took 3 movies to make, was that they literally couldn't get the rights. In the first Godzilla movie, the Gareth Edwards one or whatever, they didn't have rights to anybody but Godzilla, which is why they have the Muto monsters in that one. And then in the second one, they got the rights to like Rodan and King Ghidorah and all them.
Oh,
so
shit.
they could use them. And then they finally got Kong and could do that as the thing. Anyway, James Wan is producing this show. It's supposed to be about the origins of Kong.
Well, King Kong's probably old enough that it might be one of those public domain things. Like anybody could do it now.
Could be, yeah.
Because that's when the first one came out in like 30.
If I see a goddamn WB before this, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't get it.
A little Bugs Bunny popping out and biting on a carrot.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
And then he pops up and it's like a Space Jam crossover.
I meant to send you guys. I saw this like fake article that was like Warner Brothers executives have slit Bugs Bunny's throat like for a tax write-off, and he's currently bleeding out all over the office floor. Video games. Carlos, actually, our friend Carlos, actually messaged me about this last night. We are getting a Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game.
What?
Being either produced or worked on by the Chiodo brothers, who did the clown effects from the original.
Yeah, it's supposed to be similar to Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th and all the other like asymmetrical like killer versus like group of survivors games. It's supposed to be like that. However, it's the first one of these types of games where the killers are a team.
Ooh.
That's sick.
So
Multiple clowns.
so there'll be 3 killers, and then I think it's like against like 5 or 6 survivors.
Right on.
Send in the clown.
But they
Is
have
that
like the
how
cotton
the Evil
candy
Dead
gu-
game is?
I believe so.
Asymmetrical or whatever?
They're
Yes.
pretty much all the same thing. Well, Carlos, the reason he messaged me about this was that he said that we should, if we ever decide to start streaming again, we should collaborate with him, and he would be down to do like a joint stream where we play this game together. So that comes out next year at some point, I think early next year. We talked about this in text. I'm very, very excited about this. Halloween Ends is coming to Peacock the same day that it'll be released, which is October 14th of this year. And thank goodness, because I don't think pay to see this movie with how much I have not been remotely excited by anything that's been released about this movie so far, and obviously really disliked Halloween Kills, which I think will come up later in our Todd Browning Awards.
Which day is it coming out? Do you know?
Like what day of the week? It's October 14th.
October 14th. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what day of the week that is, but
Yeah, no, I just wanted to know the date.
just because this one's for me, I wanted to sneak in a little bit of Scoob news.
Scoobage.
We are actually getting a new Scooby-Doo movie called Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
Okay. And what
just in time
what
for
vein
Halloween.
is that going to be? Like,
My main vein.
isn't that your penis?
Yeah, that's why I went past my arm into my
I never know what you did.
You get a little squeeze.
Yep.
Is it going to be live action? Is it going to be
it's
old school
animated.
animated? Is it going to be 3D animated?
It's not going to be like old school. It's going to be in whatever style like the new cartoons are. I don't keep up as much as I would like to with Scooby-Doo. Fear the Dark, which was the code name for Insidious 5, has completed filming. Patrick Wilson's directed Insidious 5 movie, which is going to be a continuation of the story of his family from those first 2. It's about Dalton, the kid from that and from Iron Man 3 and all that, growing up, going off to college, and both he and Patrick Wilson start getting haunted by their astral projecting further demons. So I just rewatched Insidious last night because I was in the mood for some spooks, and that movie is pretty fucking awesome.
It
So
still
I'm
holds up.
excited. Yeah, and I want to see how Patrick Wilson is as a director. Does he suck or does he not? We'll have to wait and
Does
find
he
out.
suck or does he fuck?
I wish he would do both. To me. And I am a big fan. I've talked about these directors before. Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. They've now done Resolution, The Endless, Synchronic, episodes of Moon Knight, stuff on Loki. They have tons of credits now. They have a new movie coming out called Something in the Dirt, a new horror sci-fi movie. I didn't get a chance to watch the teaser yet, but the poster is pretty fucking cool. I'll have to show you guys. And it is, a cosmic horror movie, which is in vein with pretty much everything else they've done. And I am beyond excited because I love these guys. I think they have some of the freshest voices of any horror sci-fi directors out. And then the last bit of news I have is that Regal is going to be exclusively screening George Romero's Dawn of the Dead in 3D on October 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st.
That's sick.
So if you are a fan of Romero, if you're not,
Get the fuck out of here.
get the fuck out of here. But yeah, it sounds like a really cool way to ring in the spookiest holiday of the year with some Dawn of the Dead in 3D. So check it out. That's all I got for Chop Talk. We had a lot of big news just in time for us to send this season off for a Viking funeral.
There you go. Here's the arrow. Shoot it off. And straight into trivia.
Saint Maud.
That Christmas house of wax, the fog, piranha. It's one of those, right? Right?
Last week we had a trivia song, and it looks like someone wrote in. So what did they guess?
So we had a write-in from one Stephen Vayu. And his guess for last week's trivia song was the song Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria.
It is Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria.
And I was like, and that's the one fucking Coheed song I know, and I did not guess that.
Well, that we talked about it.
And
at
we
the top
talked
of the
about
show.
it, yeah. So when he said that, he was like, "Was it this?" And I said, "I don't know. He doesn't reveal it to us if we don't guess it." But it made me feel real dumb because I knew that's what it was.
That is
I
hilarious.
was literally wearing a shirt from the Coheed show.
All right, John.
Do
you got one?
You are.
I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just guess.
We'll
guess the last one.
It's your show, as they say. The jig is up.
Trivia tune for the final time this season.
Ever.
And trivia.
Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
My Mad Metallica.
Why are you talking about that? We're not talking about Stranger Things.
No, we're talking about the Sandman over
Mr.
on Patreon.
Sandman.
And if you don't want,
bonus episode.
if you don't want to be without your Porcelain Peak boys every Monday,
Bum 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 bum.
if you don't want to be without your Porcelain Peak boys every Monday during the break during September, you can catch us over on Patreon because we're still going to be talking about the Sandman.
Yeah. What's that classic Sandman song?
Mr. Sandman. Bum 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 bum. Bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum. Making the cutest that I've ever. Okay, let's play this game.
All right, we're going to play this trivia game. We're going to do 4 rounds of Q&A, and then we're going to do 2 rounds of Name That Movie. Anthony won last week independently. See what happens this week. John is going to be read to by me, and then he'll read to Anthony, and Anthony will read back to me. And John, your first question here. Jig, if I may. In which 2016 French film does a veterinary student develop a craving for flesh?
Is that Raw?
That is correct.
Raw. Anthony, which 2006 Guillermo Del Toro film stars a creature called the Pale Man with eyes in its hands?
Not to be confused with the Tall Man.
The Tall Man or the Empty Man. I'm gonna say that is Pan's Labyrinth.
What'd you say? You say Pan or Pam?
Pam's Labyrinth.
Pamela's Labyrinth. All right, Tone. Which 1980 Italian movie was banned by many countries and features a rescue team going to the Amazon rainforest?
I will guess Cannibal Holocaust.
It was indeed Cannibal Holocaust and not Hannibal Holocaust.
I was going to say Holocaust. Anyway, we're all on the board. Suck a dick. John, your next question is, in what film does Bruce Campbell wield a chainsaw and boomstick against a medieval army of deadites?
That'd be Medieval Dead, a.k.a. Army of Darkness.
Yes, that is correct. Nice job.
Every time.
Medieval Dead would have been so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Army of Darkness is a cool name, but Medieval Dead is like the coolest name.
Yeah, you should have told Bruce that.
Yeah. Anthony, what 1963 movie, loosely based on a Daphne du Maurier story, starred Tippi Hedren as Melanie Daniels?
Can you repeat it? Repeat the question.
Maybe I'll read it better this time.
Yeah.
What 1963 movie, loosely based on a Daphne du Maurier story, starred Tippi Hedren as Melanie Daniels? Not to be confused with the Daniels.
The Daniels, okay. I don't know, The Birds.
It is The Burbs.
Birds. That's literally the only Tippi Hedren movie I could think of, so...
Made in California.
Tone. Name the Italian director behind the movies A Spaghetti, A Pizza Pie. No, I'm just kidding. The movies Suspiria, Inferno,
Thank God.
and The Mother of Tears.
Dario Argento.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, according to this card, it's Cario Argento. There is a typo on the card. It says that his name is Cario Argento, but we're way more smarter than this card. So
Cario Argento.
All still tied. John, your third question is, which 1922 vampire film featured the character of Count Orlok?
You joking my ass? That's one of those Nosferatus.
That is one of those Nosferatus. You are correct, sir.
say hi to Werner Herzog for me.
I want to see the baby.
This kid at one of the schools I was at had a Mandalorian backpack with Grogu on it, and he was like, check out my backpack, right? And I was like, oh yeah, Grogu. And he was like, no, it's not. I was like, that's his name. And he was like, that's Boba Fett. And I was like, no, that's the Mandalorian, dude. And I was like, listen, you little 5-year-old. That's fucking Grogu. That's the Mandalorian. Boba Fett's a different character.
You were getting all like Joe Pesci in Home Alone, like, listen here, you friggin'
Mandalorian.
Anthony, who played the vampire Lestat in the 1994 movie Interview with
Lestat.
the Vampire?
I need 10 quarts of blood. Lestat.
In France.
Lestat. I don't know why I did Italian hands again for.
You like this? This is the
He like
Lestat.
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 Lestat. I'm trying to make sure I don't fuck this up because
I see the sweat pouring down your face.
no, it's just hot. It's hot here.
It's getting hotter. So hot.
Tom Cruise turns Brad Pitt into a vampire, or is it the other way around? That's what I'm trying to remember. Is which way?
Sorry. I don't want you to win. No offense. I would say think about. I don't know if that's a good hint. I was gonna say think about the movie Lestat and what that person looks like. Or not. What's the second? What's that movie? Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
'Cause that features Lestat, but I don't know. Never mind. Because I don't know if they even based it off the other character.
I'm just gonna say Tom Cruise.
It is one Timothy Cruise.
Oh man, so glad it's Tom Cruise, Mapotho III.
Yeah, so Brad Pitt's character is Louis.
I knew the other one was Louis. I just could not for the life of me remember which one was which. And I knew that it was a different actor in Queen of the Damned.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's not going to help me. And I haven't seen Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damn.
Tone.
Yes.
Which 2018 movie features blind creatures with hypersensitive ear holes? Hearing.
A Quiet Place.
It is A Quiet Place.
I feel like we had a Quiet Place question.
That was one of the name of the movie ones.
All
I
right.
got to place.
Still tied. John, and a question tailored specifically for you. Which 2019 film features a pagan cult in Sweden?
It's directly behind your head, sir. Midsommar.
Yep. That is correct.
I was like, wait, what? You're acting like I didn't get it right.
That's affirmative.
What the fuck? Anthony, which Australian psychological horror from 2014 is about a monster linked to a pop-up storybook.
You really committed to that, huh?
I did.
And you didn't do half bad. I don't know.
It wasn't half good either.
We're just lucky that old Daniel Craig from the Creepy Crap podcast no longer exists. So I don't know.
He doesn't do it anymore?
No, I don't
think
know.
he does some sort of different content.
I think he's on Instagram still. Shout out if you're listening. Tell us how bad that accent was. That's going to be the Babadook.
It is the Babadook.
No, I just watched Scream 5. It's the Babadook. The Babadook.
No, it's Duck. Because it has to rhyme with fucking book.
If it's in a line or it's in a book.
Must be the Babadook.
Hey, if Jenna Ortega says it, I take it as gospel. So
Right on. Good for you.
yeah. Tone, who stars as a vampire mother or blood-sucking ghoul mother in the 2012 movie Byzantium?
No! Why? Damn it.
I might have had a hard time with this one too.
Byzantium?
Mm-hmm. Byzantium.
Byzantine.
Byzantium.
Bizin. TM.
What year?
2012 vampire mother Byzantium. Who stars?
Fuck, man.
I'm sorry, fuck man is not the correct answer.
I really don't know. Naomi Watts.
Ooh, sorry. It is Gemma Arterton.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I know who she is, but I probably wouldn't have gotten that one right.
Wow. Damn it.
And the other one is Saoirse Ronan,
Saoirse Ronan.
What?
the other vampire in that movie. It's like
Saoirse
sister
Ronan.
vampires. Yeah.
Right on. They're in the lead. I'm one behind. Now we're going to do Name That Movie.
Name that movie.
There are 3 words on this card which I cannot say, but I have to try to get John to guess this movie. All right, John, bunch of high school kids driving around, and they kill a dude, but they didn't kill the dude. And a year later, he gonna get you.
I think he knew what they did last
Midsommar.
autumn. No, I know what you did last summer.
That is correct. Good job.
With old,
I have no fucking idea how I'm gonna do this one.
with
were
the
the-
old hash slinging slasher.
What were the?
Oh, yeah,
What were
that's-
the 3 words?
Oh, the 3 words I could not say were hook, revenge, and accident. Accident.
Anthony, your Name That Movie is about a place that you go during the summer,
Okay.
and there's a lake, and some poor dumb son of a bitch got drowned in said lake,
Okay.
and one of his parental figures
fucking with him?
goes on.
Well, I want to make sure I'm guessing the right one. He
goes
has to...
on a secret rampage,
Mhm.
killing childrens
Okay.
who fuck.
Does a little bit of a kill my. Yeah, is that Friday the 13th?
It is Friday the 13th. Jason, Mother, and Camp were the words that I couldn't say.
Wrong answer.
Jason Mothercamp.
Tone.
No relation to John Mellencamp.
This is gonna be a tough one, I think. Because I do not really know what this movie is about.
Uh-oh.
You want to see if you can?
Uh-oh, stinky.
Because I might need your help with this one.
Have I seen it?
I don't know if any of us have seen this movie. It's Italian, and I don't think any of us have seen it. So, do we want to just swap out my card with one that I think I could describe for you?
Sure, yeah. You want this one? I can see the answer to.
No, no, preferably not.
So what is it for
It's
shits and
Demons.
gigs? Oh, yeah, no shot.
Yeah,
Okay.
What's on the back?
The
Where
Hills
did
Have
it, yeah.
Eyes.
Oh, why didn't you do the back of that one?
Because
Because
it's
you
going
take
to take
a
a whole
whole
extra.
extra-
What's the point of doing the
Also,
back of
Oh,
one of the
well,
cards?
I was going to have you do the back of that one. Since I saw it.
What? Just give me a new card, you weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
Okay, I can do this one. Let me check the other side.
Yo.
Okay. You'll be happier that you got that. We got this card. Okay. So this is a movie
Cool.
about a woman who goes to a house
Okay.
in Japan,
Okay. All right.
and the souls of
Some ghouls.
some ghouls, some familial ghouls, are inhabiting this place.
Is it the Grudge?
It is the Grudge.
Okay.
Grudge.
I couldn't say curse, haunted, or boy.
The boy. All right.
Grudge.
You're gonna have to, I might need your help with this one. So this one takes place in the snow. It features some Kris Kringle themes, and it's foreign, and there's creatures. Are they in boxes?
Yeah, you're doing well so
Okay, and I think it's about a little boy, if I'm not incorrect, and that's all I got. I don't know.
Because we watched this one together, didn't we?
Yeah, but like
Years ago.
yeah, I haven't seen it since.
Wait, can I?
Is it Rare Exports?
That is correct.
Damn.
Yeah. Good for you.
Good fucking job, dude. You did a really good job describing that for a movie that I barely remembered, but everything you said, I was like, yeah, no, that's right.
That's about right, yeah.
I got you there.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do is get you there, buddy.
Anthony, this movie is about a girl.
Cry a river.
I was just about to say that.
Hey, player.
Around the whole world.
So she didn't cry a river, but nature did. And it flooded the place that she was at.
Mm-hmm.
And a creature happened, a certain predator, predator that likes to float, came on in to the place that she was at and wreaked some havoc.
Oh.
I didn't realize this game was that new, I guess. But that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is this Crawl?
It is indeed Crawl.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a minute that could have gone anyway.
Produced by Sam Raimi.
Samuel.
Tone. This is why I was like, well, actually, I won't say anything. Let's see. Oh, this may be not even. Should stop talking.
Okay.
This is a movie
Sick.
about a dude
The Big Lebowski.
who goes through a. I keep wanting to use these words. This is a really good one. He goes through a procedure. He's a smart man who invents a procedure to make himself translucent.
Oh, fuck, dude. The Invisible Man.
It is the Invisible Man. I couldn't say bandages, experiment, scientist, but I also didn't want to say invisible because you can't say
And the title,
what's in
yeah.
the title. So that was a little bit tough.
Translucent.
Translucent.
All right. Well, you guys tied.
We did.
So we'll do a little
Knife fight.
Tie break and
tiebreaker. First one to get it, right?
I think so.
You guys
That's how we
want to
did
do
it last
80s,
time.
90s, or whatevs?
dealer's choice.
All right. Well, then, I'm going 80s. All right. Let me find a really hard one.
How predictable.
Let me find
So predictable.
a really fucking hard one.
Oh my god.
Cake.
I saw a thing that was like, I think it's Colombia or something is considering legalizing cocaine, and somebody had like posted that, and then underneath it was Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe, and it was like the Coca-Cola company back to formula.
All right. I think this one might be hard because I don't even know what it is. Not that means. Oh, all right. Maybe you guys will get this one.
So
Okay.
are we waiting for you to finish and say done, and then we have to guess? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Electricity develops a mind of its own in this horror film from '88. Be careful what you turn on. Done.
Shocker.
Incorrect. According to this.
Um.
We'll have to double check this. Because this guy's been wrong before.
Yeah, I have no idea. So I guess we're both wrong. It's a different one.
Okay. This says it's a movie called Pulse.
Could be something else called Pulse besides the Pulse that we know about.
Oh, yep. Sure enough. All right.
Oh, okay.
1988, science fiction horror film.
Obscure.
Directed by Paul Golding.
Add that to the
yeah.
trivia redemption.
Literally
list.
never heard of them shits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that one also called Cairo?
No.
Yeah, because Shocker was gonna
Yeah.
be my first guess too, which is also a movie I haven't seen.
That could be one of our deep cuts.
Mike could.
Oh my god, these are all stupid.
Shocker. Don't say that. What if the guy who made it is watching and listening, and he's like, "I'm so happy that one person is playing my trivia game that I
Played
right.
my trivia.
And we're just like, this shit focus
They
sucks.
bought it so I could go
No,
get
it's
some
good.
Macas.
You're just
It's
trying
just-
to find one that's hard enough to
Yeah.
make it challenging. Yeah.
All right, we'll go with this one. The spirit inside Captain Vigo's painting wants to live again in the sequel to a busting mega hit. Done.
Ghostbusters 2.
Sounds right.
Yeah, Vigo the Carpathian.
That is correct.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh, this busting mega hit. That's funny.
Well, hey, I snagged 2 wins right at the fucking finish line. for
Well,
this
all you
season.
managed to do today is prevent me from tying for second.
No spoilers. That's going to wrap it up for trivia for season 4.
If you want more trivia,
got
check
buttloads.
check out our buttloads of
check out our buttloads.
check out our buttloads of Patreon episodes where we have bonus trivia, or go back to old episodes and act like you never heard the trivia before, or wait until next season, we'll have more trivia, or
I like that. Go back with somebody who hasn't listened to the show, introduce them to the show, and then make yourself look hella good because you know all the trivia.
yeah, that's a brilliant idea. I'm gonna do that.
Hop on Patreon. There's at least like 5 or 6 iterations of movie game on there that are
So
fantastic. Plus some really cool music ones, some ones where Anthony put random stuff into word generators and made them like Shakespearean and shit.
Oh yeah, we had fun. We
Yeah.
had some fun. I miss it.
Yeah. So, without further ado,
Yes.
Further to do.
I believe
gonna
it's
get
time
started.
for us to take a short break.
Yeah. Short break.
Short
some
break.
ads. Some
Put on
robot
some
ladies.
fresh
Word from our
duds.
sponsors.
That's correct. And get ready for the second annual Todd Browning Award.
But as always, give us your fucking money.
Head on over to patreon.com/Porcelain Peak for hours and hours of additional content, merch, and more. For $5 a month you get access to our weekly trivia bonus episodes, where we write each other new quizzes for every episode. For $10 you get access to our monthly /Terpiece theater commentary tracks, where we crack wise over the top of movies for your enjoyment, alongside a monthly print designed by Anthony Silva. For $20 you can join our producer tier, where you will get early access to our episodes, a t-shirt every 6 months, and the ability to help us come up with ideas for future episodes. All versions of the episode are provided ad-free on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/Porcelain Peak to help support the show.
Head on over to porcelainpeakshop.com and purchase some merch to help support the show, or purchase our Horror is for Everyone shirt to support new causes every month. This month we are donating all proceeds from this shirt to GLSEN, because we believe that all students deserve to learn in an environment free from bigoted pieces of shit. Share a picture with your merch on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook and we will give you a shout out on a future episode. Again, that's porcelainpeakshop.com to help support the show and look fly as hell in the process. Thanks to everyone for watching. Now back to Tone, John, and Anthony.
Hey, you want to see something really scary?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's host for the second annual Todd Browning Awards, Tone. John. Internet darling Anthony.
Well, whatever the fuck that all was. Hello.
Shenanigans.
Welcome to your second annual Todd Browning Awards.
The awards for the most browniest brownings.
Say, welcome to your second annual Todd Browning Awards. All crime is legal for 12 hours.
If you ain't got a drink, grab one and crack it open now. We're getting some bubbly to celebrate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you don't know what the Todd Browning Awards are, we did this last year because we thought, hey, we've been doing this long enough. We need to have an awards show. That sounds fun. We're big fans of the Oscars. And we said, hey, you know what? The Academy fucking sucks. We can do this thing a lot better. So, welcome to the Much Better Than the Academy Awards Tom Browning Awards, where we take everything that we've covered throughout the season. We put it into categories from best horror movie, best sci-fi movie, worst movie of the year, most disappointing,
best actor,
directing, best actor, all that shit, and we have you guys vote. So
we vote too.
Yeah.
Because we're not,
Yeah, because we got skin in the game. And I will say that thank you to everyone that voted. We got 2 more voters than last year's awards. So
I voted twice.
More of you made your voices. You're not supposed to give that away on mic, bro. That's behind the scenes. That's
I'm just kidding. I only voted the once.
I only voted once.
Twice.
I had a bunch
now
of
the fans are going to come
vote.
storm your house in an insurrection because the votes were rigged.
They were, yeah. You want to recount? All right, let me crack my little crikey.
Ooh, tastes like candy.
And I told you the hell good, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us on this very special evening and the season finale of Porcelain Peak.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you're not watching the YouTube video, we're all in very stuffy, very hot blazers right now. We look very fancy.
Yeah, I really like yours.
Thanks.
It reminds me of the Mentos commercial.
Fresh maker.
Yep.
I've got a little blazer, black shirt, and gold chain combo going. Also some shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, you are all over the place by far, my friend.
Yeah.
Regardless of where Labor Day is, you are just all
just a hot ass mess.
Just a hot ass mess of fashion. Yeah, so why don't we get started with this? Let's start talking about some categories.
Let's go.
So, I think it would be nice for us to start small here with best television show / miniseries of season 4.
All right, why don't you run us through the nominees again?
So the nominees for best television /
nominees for best.
miniseries are Chucky,
Fucking Chucky.
Stranger Things 4,
Okay.
Cuatro.
Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Mass, and Moon Knight.
All right.
Now tell me, boys, in your personal opinion, which of these do you think was the best television show / miniseries of the year? I'm going to say right away, I think it was Midnight Mass.
I will agree with that. I don't think that won, but that was my pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm not revealing what won.
Yes.
I'm just saying my personal pick would have been Midnight Mass.
I also voted for Midnight Mass. Chucky was a very close second, though. Chucky was the most surprising thing of the year for me, probably. But Midnight Mass, it was just more of Flanagan being
Shenanigans.
like the best in the game at making
A
horror
master of
television.
horror.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
Midnight Mass. Turf
Oh, shit. A Midnight Masturbator.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm going to break down here who the winner of Best Television Show miniseries of Season 4 was.
If I had to guess, I would say Stranger Things.
Stranger Things 4.
Yeah.
The way this broke down was Midnight Mass was in a very close second, with Stranger Things 4 getting 10 votes and Midnight Mass getting 8.
Ooh, so close.
So very close trailing behind. That was one of the closer ones.
I feel like Stranger Things 4 obviously has that bigger fan base because of the first 3 seasons and is a lot more accessible to
And it's very
general
grand
population.
in scale by comparison to its previous seasons. And it's the culmination of several years worth of effort, whereas Midnight Mass is just
its own thing.
Singular thing.
Yeah, and I could easily see that slipping under the radar. I don't easily see Stranger Things 4 slipping under anyone's radar.
Yeah,
so.
most people I talk to generally like Stranger Things, and I've heard a few people dislike Midnight Mass just because it is marketed as like a horror thing, but it really is more of a drama first and foremost.
So good,
but
though.
My favorite.
Congratulations, Stranger Things 4. I enjoyed you, so I ain't mad about it.
Yeah. I think Moon Knight would have been the only one I'd be like, eh.
Yeah, I can tell you which one's got 0 votes from anybody.
Chucky
and Moon Knight.
Chucky was
Obi-Wan,
so good.
Obi-Wan Kenobi got 2 votes. So
Sometimes you gotta get Kenobi.
Good for you, McGregor. Your next category. Best kill of the season.
Ooh.
All right.
Your nominees are Amleth beheads Fjolnir from The Northman.
It's all good.
Northman.
Ghostface kills, spoiler alert, you should have seen this by now, Dewey.
Ooh. I read this
From-
to your wife, and she's like, "Oh, Dewey dies."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh no." Just kidding.
From Scream 5.
That's cream.
Gordy's Home Rampage from Jordan Peele's Nope. Chrissy gets Vecnud from Stranger Things 4. Pearl stabs RJ from Ty West's X. And The Bus Massacre from Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which do you guys prefer out of that list? Which one do you think should be the winner?
The most, I think, exciting one was the bus scene from Texas Chainsaw. Probably, arguably the best part.
If I was doing this the way we did last year's, which I think the winner was the bread slicer from Fear Street,
I believe so, yeah.
I would say that the Bus Massacre is probably the closest comparison.
The most artistic flair, though, had to have been Pearl in X.
Gorgeous with the light from the headlights.
I mean,
and
it
the
just
blood and
like the bus scene is gruesome. That scene from X is just art.
But on an emotional level, I would say that Ghostface killing Dewey still gets me, and I've seen that movie like 3 or 4 times
This is
now.
a tight category.
The
And
Gordy's,
it's a great kill.
Yeah.
He like,
it's an honor. And then Gordy's Home Rampage, I would say may have, I don't remember which of these I voted for, but the Gordy's Home Rampage from Nope did shake me to my core.
Yeah.
But the winner of this year's award is Chrissy gets Vecnud from Stranger Things 4, another win for Stranger Things 4.
wow.
Will say that was pretty fucking shocking watching that first episode and seeing that happen. I was like, I'm on board. This shit's crazy.
Let me do the next one, sir.
Yeah, well, I just want to go over like who some of the runner-ups for this one were.
Yeah.
So the Bus Massacre from Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in a close second with 5 votes. Chrissy gets Vecna gets 7 votes. Right behind that was Ghostface Kills Dewey with 4 votes, and then trailing behind were Gordy's Home, Amleth, and Pearl Stabs RJ. But yeah, let's get into the next category.
All right. The next category is Best Directing. Your nominees are Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Denis Villeneuve
Dennis Villeneuve
for Dune,
June.
Jordan Peele for Nope, Ty West for X, and Alex Garland for Men.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that in this room, we're big fucking fans of the Daniels. Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I'm going to, in a landslide, give it to the Daniels for my vote.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that the movie that they brought to the table, which we will talk about later, might be the best movie I've seen in a bare minimum a decade.
My personal was the direction for Dune. I
Yeah.
thought Denis did a fucking fantastic job. Not a better movie. Not really a movie technically,
but very, very expertly directed and put together.
Exactly, yeah. But the winner is Everything Everywhere All at Once by the Daniels.
Daniels. Daniels.
So I don't think this will be on their Wikipedia wins, but in case anyone out there knows Daniels, tell them.
If you got a
they
name at
Todd
Wikipedia
Browning.
and you want to add the Todd Browning Awards to their list of accolades,
That'd be
we
sick.
wouldn't be mad about it.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Congratulations on the win, Daniels. You deserve it.
All right, next one here we got for ya. Best actor performance of this season.
Okay.
Your nominees are Rory Kinnear for Men.
Many men.
Manly men.
That's how many men he played.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello
Oscar
there.
Isaac for Moon Knight.
When the moon is a night.
That's Oscar Isaac. Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man No Way Home.
What's the thing he says in that movie? I love you guys.
And I don't know how to pronounce
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 6%. I'm coming back for everything.
Is it Ke Huy Quan?
Close enough.
All right, cool. For Everything Everywhere All at Once. What do you think?
Oh,
Was that the dad character from the Goonies?
That was the Asian kid from the Goonies.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's the dad
Oh,
character.
the dad character
everything.
in that. I thought you were saying the dad character in the Goonies. And I was
And-
like, no, he was a kid then.
He's my pick for that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say I'm pretty sure that's who I voted for because he just makes me cry every time I watch that movie. His performance is so good. But I would say a close second to that. I just thought Andrew Garfield was like fucking blew everyone away in that movie with
He
how
steals
good he
the
was
show,
in that
yeah.
role. Like even people who don't like the Spider-Man movies were like Andrew Garfield was fucking fantastic
Really?
and like let's make more. But
Yeah.
I think it's for Ki-Hugh Kwan.
The winner with 45% of the votes is Ki-Hugh. Is it? Ki-Hugh
Your guess is
Kwan
as good as mine.
from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
The character of Waymond is just fantastic.
We
It's-
all could use to be a little bit more like
Garfield was 5 votes. Ewan was 4. 1 for Rory and 1 for Oscar.
Yeah, I think people were just a little bit too uncomfortable about men to vote for it in any of these categories, but we'll see.
You want to take a couple there, champ?
All right. So we'll go ahead and move on to best performance by an actress.
Ooh, this was a tough one for me.
It was one of the tougher categories, I
Yeah.
think, for me to vote in.
All right. So your nominees for best actress are Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sadie Sink for Stranger Things Season 4.
Just rewatched Fear Street 1978. And I liked it a bit more, I think, because I have a bit of a softer spot for Sadie Sink now.
Fair enough.
Kate Siegel for Midnight Mass, Jessie Buckley for Men, and Keke Palmer for Nope.
I will say, all fucking fantastic performances across the board.
Yeah, this probably was the hardest category for me to make a vote on.
I would be happy with any of them winning. I think personally, though, I went with Sadie. Just because I don't know if it was episode 3 or 4, but goddamn, she
Dear
was
Billy.
fantastic in this season.
Yeah, another category I don't 100% remember where I voted. I would say for me it would have to go between Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere and Sadie Sink, so I would be happy with either one winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely voted for Michelle Yeoh, but Sadie Sink would be not a problem for me if she's the winner. All right, so
Only you know the truth, John.
The suspense is killing me.
the winner of the Browning is Sadie Sink
Hey!
for her performance in Stranger Things 4 with 11 votes.
Now let's just hope that winning this Todd Browning Award really launches her career into the stratosphere.
So that's 3 wins for Stranger Things so
Yeah.
far, huh?
Yeah, I think unless Everything Everywhere starts picking up a bunch of awards in the next few categories, we might have a Stranger Things dominated Todd Browning this year.
Well, luckily it can't win Best Movie.
That's true.
All right, so next category, most disappointing of the season.
I can tell you right off the fucking bat. Don't even have to hear the nominations.
So the options for this one were Halloween Kills,
Yikes.
Womp womp, Lamb,
Woof.
Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Guillermo
Zoinks.
Del Toro's Nightmare Alley,
Forgot about that movie.
Garbage.
Disney Plus and Star Wars's The Book of Boba Fett.
This was most disappointing.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
And
Project.
The Matrix Resurrections.
Yikes.
For me, Boba Fett, because he was super dope. Well, and he's kind of like glorified as this badass, and then that show, especially even compared to just The Mandalorian, it fucking sucked.
Yeah,
Super disappointing.
The reason I wouldn't vote for that is because I had no expectations for Boba Fett being I don't give a shit about Boba Fett. You know who I do give a shit about though?
Michael
Myers
fucking
and Laurie
Myers,
Strode.
yeah.
And I am still not over being burned by how fucking terribly disappointing that movie was, because unlike this one where we're going in with with Halloween Ends, we're going in with obviously very tamped down expectations. I think we all went into Kills thinking it was going to be pretty fucking awesome, and we were like pretty
Hoping,
stoked
yeah.
for it. And I liked the 2018 one quite a bit, and I was just so bummed out about how much, even just sitting in the theater, I was like, this is not good.
It's a confusing movie, too, because I feel like when they were writing it, McBride and Gordon Green were like, we want to strip it down. they're not brother and sister. We're going back to its roots. Not any of the supernatural shit. And then what do they do? Supernatural.
He's supernatural
shit.
from the power of evil.
Yeah. So
evil
for all of the same reasons. It's exactly what I voted for.
And the loser winner is
Yes, yeah, and the
most disappointing
of the season is Halloween Kills.
Thank you, voters, for being in agreement, being on the right side of history.
It definitely goes to show that all of these were a little disappointing to somebody because all of them were voted for.
Yeah.
So everybody got a little bit of disappointment.
40% of the votes went to Halloween Kills.
Nice.
I wish that I could somehow see how some people that I watch on YouTube in the horror community are huge, massive fans of Halloween Kills. I wish I could put myself in their shoes and understand why, but alas.
I think we got 3 more. So we want to do 1 more each?
Sure. Let's do it to it.
Okay. Hit us with the worst of the year.
Pass that Dutchie, John.
We've got 4 more.
Oh, what else?
We have horror, sci-fi, most surprising, and worst.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
knock 2 out then, buddy.
Well, for the worst of the saison,
Saison.
your nominees are Halloween Kills.
Guys, next year.
This is a very interesting category because it is it's different than what was most disappointing. It's what was objectively, or subjectively, I guess in this case, the worst movie.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh,
pretty fucking bad. And that was when we were in our Resident Evil hype. Imagine if we tried to watch that movie now. Woof. Lamb. Again, I think a movie that just really surprised us with how boring it was.
Speaking of Resident Evil,
Yeah.
remember there's one where she finds a fake daughter?
I am your daughter.
Yeah. And I think she's deaf in the movie. It's the one where they introduce Leon and they're in that underground facility.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about the games or the movie?
The movie with Mila.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
The one where everyone comes back because they're clones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That girl is from The Orphan. That's the same daughter.
She is
the one who plays the orphan?
No. The one that plays the deaf daughter in The Orphan.
Oh, okay. I was very confused by all of that, obviously.
This has been Tone's Segue Corner.
Well, we were talking about The Orphan the other day because I just recently watched most of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original Orphan in a couple years, so I don't remember all the details. But
the award for the world's best orphan. No parents. Only skeletons for parents.
Your next category, or your next nominee for worst of the season, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Morbin time. Morbius.
It's got to be this one.
Jurassic World. These are all terrible. Jurassic World Dominion.
Ugh. Oofta.
And the piece de la resistance, Firestarter.
Ooh,
I was a little torn here between Morbius and Firestarter.
Yeah, Firestarter's bad.
But
were you ripped in twain?
I would say that at least Morbius had Matt Smith, who gave a performance that I liked. Firestarter was probably one of the most forgettable movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You probably forgot it was in this list, didn't you?
So for me, Firestarter, I went in with very, very low expectations off the rip. I mean, and same for Morbius, but Morbius was so much more money and time and investment was put into that film.
You know better than anybody, that doesn't mean anything.
But for it to be so dismal, I mean, I just it was bad. And then on top of that, to get fucking double doinked by the quote unquote fans, get memed on hard, and then try to release it again to try to take advantage of that, and then have that shit buried again. Sorry, Morbius.
Yeah, I was very torn on this one because Morbius is terrible, but I never expected it not to be. Not even from the first trailer. Firestarter I had a little bit of hope for, so maybe that falls more into the more disappointing category, but yes, very forgettable, terrible. And Welcome to Raccoon City, I would say, are the 3 that I possibly could have voted for. Again, I have no memory of what I did vote for, but I can tell you what the fans voted on.
Let's hear it.
Your worst movie of the season is Morbius in a landslide.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, 9 votes for Morbius, and the closest one to that was Halloween Kills with 4 votes, and then right behind that was Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City with 3 votes, and then 2 votes for Firestarter. People apparently did not care at all about Jurassic World Dominion. Didn't vote for it. I think it was just a whatever the fuck movie. So
Right on.
yeah, and then I get most surprising of the season as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so your next category is most surprising of the season.
I'm seasoned right now.
So this is the movie that surprised us the most. Your nominees are Everything Everywhere, as it's listed here because they're going to put the whole title in. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Scream 5, Chucky, The Black Phone, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. So this is a little mixed bag of nominees here, but I would say that each of these was pretty surprising for different reasons. I would say that probably the least surprising of these for me was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I may have still voted for it. Again, I don't remember anything about this, what I voted for, but I loved Swiss Army Man so much that this didn't really shock me that this movie was fucking fantastic. The Black Phone really surprised me with how much we dumped on that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible trailer. I stand by that.
Yeah, I think Scream 5 surprised me that it was well made.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they actually pulled off something that felt like Scream. Same with Chucky, where I was like, this could go either way. They've been making Chucky for long enough. This could be terrible or it could be fantastic. And Ghostbusters, I think I had no hopes for, and I actually thought it was a nice little heartwarming tale. But I would say my vote is probably The Black Phone for being the most surprising.
For me, it would be Ghostbusters, I think, because that movie had no reason to be good. Like, it had everything going against it.
Well, especially after
two's
coming
not
off the
good.
2016 version.
2016 one's not very good. So it's like, what can happen? And they, like you said, it was a love letter, and it was beautiful for what it did.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, John? What are your thoughts?
It's a toss-up for me between Black Phone and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Black Phone because I went in with the lowest expectations and left with what I would say is far and away better than a competent movie. Is just a really good movie that just has, you know, a ton of killer atmosphere, great performances, a mask that I thought was dumb in the trailer that turned out to be probably one of the coolest masks that we've had in a little while.
Yeah, pretty dope.
But for Everything Everywhere All at Once, I expected a really good movie. I did not expect to walk away with a movie
With your life changed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, totally. You guys want to hear which one won?
So much.
Most surprising of the season goes to another win for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
All right.
By a good margin, Everything Everywhere All at Once got 8 votes. The closest to that was indeed The Black Phone with 5 votes. Then trailing behind that with 3 was Scream 5. And then with 2 votes each were Chucky and Ghostbusters Afterlife. So each of these got votes. People were surprised by all of these, but I think people were in a similar boat to you, John, where they did not expect this movie to affect them as much as it really did. But yeah, the reason I haven't gone back and watched it after my second viewing is because I'm not in the mood to cry any more than I already have been. Well, we're moving into the final 2 categories for this year's Todd Browning Awards. We hope you have enjoyed these so far. Sponsored by LaCrikey.
Before we get to the best horror and best sci-fi of the season, I want to talk about our trivia winners.
Wiener, chicken dinner. I have absolutely no fucking clue.
Well, I broke down, so we got a little bit more stat on these right here, fellas. So, the longest streak
So hot when he talks numbers.
goes to Anthony. He had a 5 streak, 6 if we count the tie. I had all my streaks were only 2. And John, you got a 3 streak once.
Your goal next season, break the 2 streak.
Break the 2 streak. The longest dry spell also goes to Anthony.
Hey man, I'm a man of many facets. Multiple
really
layers.
fucked you.
You did not win for 9 weeks straight.
Oh no, trust me, I know.
Mine was 5 weeks. John, you had 7 weeks.
Yeah,
All right.
they were 9 very, very hard weeks for me.
So, if we are not counting ties, these are just individual wins, no ties. I came in at 14. John, you came in at 13. And Anthony, you came in at 16. I had 5 streaks throughout the season. John, you had 4 streaks throughout the season. My average was 2 streaks.
Yeah.
Yours was 2.5. Anthony, you actually only had 3 streaks this season.
Okay.
But one of them was hell long.
Yeah, I had a good streak there.
All right,
good
so-
long streak.
Now, counting ties.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm so nervous, man.
John, with ties and individual wins, you had 16 this season.
John, I gotta say, and I'm not even bullshitting here. You did fucking fantastic compared to previous seasons on trivia. You really stepped your game up while I stepped my game way back.
Most improved.
Hey, it's all about shining a spotlight and stepping out of it.
I had 17 wins, including ties, and the winner of the season, once again, with 21, is the boy himself. With the boy! These last 3 weeks playing a pivotal role in that.
Dude, they say anything can happen in the next 3 episodes. I really thought that I had fucked myself royally.
It was close, dude. Can you unlock this?
Yeah, I'm sweating thinking about it. But yeah, it was tough. I really didn't think that I was going to make it up. But I mean, it really just shows that if we're coming down to when it comes down to trivia, and if we're talking about general trivia, thank you.
Point for duty.
If we're talking about general trivia, general movie trivia, I think John is much better versed than I am. But when it comes down to horror trivia, I think that's just where my bread and butter is. So once we slid back into horror trivia, I was like, cool, I can do this.
All right.
Well, thanks guys for all the support.
Yeah, man. Good job. You earned it.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun this season with trivia. I feel like I learned a lot.
I told John we fucked ourselves beating you because we were very much neck and neck while you were on your dry spell.
Yeah.
That when none of us was able to push past where you were. But I mean, I think that's the closest for all 3 of us that's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I think it was a lot more of a sweep last year. But this year, yeah, we were all...
I think if I broke double digits at all, I barely broke them.
Well, we were all top form this season.
Top
so let's
form.
hope for
Back to formula.
Back to formula.
All right. The second to last one here. The best sci-fi film of season 4. The nominees were Spider-Man No Way Home, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dune,
June,
The Batman, and Goat's Butter Afterlife.
Goat's Butter.
I think if I had to pick between those, I would go Everywhere. Everything.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No question.
All
We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
All the chips are at for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And the winner is, by a landslide of a whopping 11 votes, and 55% of the votes here was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I think at this point has officially blown Stranger Things out of the water for wins.
I don't remember. But tied for second was Dune and the Batman, both with 15% of the votes. Then Spider-Man with 2 and Goat's Butter for 1.
Yeah, Dune just didn't make me cry. If it had made me cry,
I don't want to see. Okay.
then it might have been a different story, but I'm...
I can figure it out.
I know it's reloading. Hold on. Okay. You're good.
Yeah, but
All
I
right.
just... Yeah, you can't put that... I think probably Dune would have been my vote, if not for... Was Dune in the even in there?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I love Dune. It's just not really a story. Like, there's not an ending.
Actually, my vote would be for Spider-Man No Way Home in terms of, like, the most enjoyment I got out of a movie. It would be that, like, probably right below Everything Everywhere All at Once. Both of those movies were such a fantastic multiversal experience.
Yes. Exactly. All right. And then our crowning jewel.
Yeah, the final category, Best Horror Film of Season 4. The nominees are X-Men.
First
You just
class.
want to keep patting yourself on the back of that one.
Scream 5.
Okay.
Nope.
5 cream. Okay.
And The Black Phone.
And this is for best horror of the year.
Best Horror of the Year.
Can you run those through real quick?
X-Men.
There was some
Scream.
tomfoolery from me.
X-Men Scream 5.
Okay.
Nope. The Black Phone.
That is tough. I have only seen Nope the once, and I enjoyed it, but it does go from horror to, I guess, thriller about halfway through.
Yeah.
Scream 5 I have seen multiple times, and it is very good.
Yeah. No, I just rewatched it. And it's
but
awesome.
those would be my toss-up. But I think I ended up going Nope.
This is tough. I loved The Black Phone. Okay, the ones that I'll mark out right away, I would say would be X-Men. I enjoyed both, but I would say that I would mark them out as like my favorites of the year. Black Phone. I'm gonna have to go Nope, just in terms of just being like spectacle, like, you know, it's Jordan Peele, like it's fucking aliens, bro. It was just awesome, and I wear my sunglasses at night too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I feel like, especially being someone who's such a massive fan of Alex Garland, like I felt like Men was a step back from some of his previous works.
Oh yeah, I was watching some analysis on Ex Machina the other night and going like, oh my god, that movie was so much better.
Yeah,
than
I mean,
Men
even at some of its lowest moments, Devs is better than Men was. But Men is still a good film. It's just it's a shade behind what it was against in the category. Scream 5 and Nope are probably like neck and neck for me.
Yeah.
But the winner of the final Todd Browning of the second annual Todd Browning Awards is Nope.
Woo! Yeah,
Nope
baby, yeah.
Nope received 40% of the votes, followed closely by 30% of the votes for Scream 5.
Okay.
You know what I like about Nope winning is that it is a wholly original thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream 5 would have been an easy win.
The fourth sequel to a movie.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Cool. Thank you again to everyone who voted.
Thanks to everyone everywhere.
All at once.
Yeah.
All over the course of the last several weeks that we've been pushing people to vote for this. But yeah, this is always really fun to do. It's cool to do a little bit of a recap on the season. And speaking of doing a little recap on the season, I think that's what we're about to get into in our final cut.
Yep, let's roll it. Thanks again for voting.
Back
We
down
appreciate you.
memories.
Little memory lane, and what's coming up?
In the moonlight.
Night.
What do you know? I asked for final cut, and I got it.
Shit this year. It's crazy.
Don't think I don't read your little interviews to see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Giant.
Let's
Final
do it.
cut, baby. Last one. I'm ready for it. Are we recording?
You could even call it a final cut.
A final, yeah. Guys, we got some inside baseball. This was almost our last season.
Yeah, so pretty much for like the last half of the season, none of us were 100% sure that we were going to come back to do this for another year. And
I'd like to add a correction to that. Two of us were not sure. I think John's always been on board.
John's just been like, I'll do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, pretty much. It's on my skin. It stays.
Well, I mean, it's on all of our skins.
Yeah.
Just as permanent, John.
Yeah, separate skins. We don't share skin.
We don't have a box of skin that keep.
What's that really pale light patch you got back here?
I should keep her.
Yeah. So, but, you know, for anybody who's listening who's like, oh, no, do they hate doing the show now? No, we love doing the show. Like I said earlier when I was talking about why this thing even exists in the first place, it's an excuse for us to see each other every week. It gives us an excuse to, well, mostly for me, who just hates going out of my apartment now, it gives me an excuse to go out to the movie theater and do that thing that I used to love doing.
Which, yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's hit and miss because the theater has become almost an awful experience.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and it, you know, we get to have really wonderful interactions with the people who collaborate with us and who talk to us on Instagram and on our social media
Help
and
us
everything.
do shit like see Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, so just want to give a huge shout out to some of the mainstays right off the bat of people who we've either collaborated with on episodes or people who have been in group chats and really supported our entire season. I would say that Steven Vayu is probably our number one fan. I think if we were given a Todd Browning Award for number one fan, he would get it this year. That dude is like day of release on all of our episodes asking us questions about the discussions or having breakdowns of the breakdowns, crying because he's so emotional about how good we are at doing this. And want to give a shout out to Chuck and his brother Robert from Chuck and Ruff Go to the Movies. They have been fantastically supportive through basically the entirety of this show since we started trying to let other people know we were doing it.
Yep.
And we recently had a really wonderful Nightmare Before Christmas episode with them. Huge shout out to Podcast on Elm Street. Brooke and Mark, our friends up north, are always wonderful and supportive. And there's a ton of others. Our friend Carlos, we mentioned earlier, has always given us little fun memes and news.
Yeah, and all of our producers.
Yeah, Porcelain producer Ashley the intern, who actually wore one of our shirts cross country over in Salem.
Yeah,
the
our
home
shirt's
country.
been to Salem and I haven't.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was super stoked about that.
Oh, yeah, and we had our
Michael,
best.
your pops.
Yeah, my pops. Yeah, we had we had a lot of new listeners this year. We had probably our best year when it comes to merch.
Yeah,
especially with the Horrors for Everyone shirt and the charity stuff that we were doing with that. Thank you so much to anyone who's posted pictures wearing our merch. It's so crazy for me still to see designs that I've made show up and be in. I'm like, that shirt. I made that shirt, and now it's in Salem and across the country and all over the place. So just huge shout out to anyone who has been supportive and gone through this whole journey with us. But what I want to do, like I mentioned earlier, is take us on a little trip down memory lane and kind of give an overview of all of the million things that we've discussed this season on the show.
Probably the most packed with content.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, covering multiple swaths of movies in every episode.
Good word, swath.
Yeah, I want to start off saying that's a real Zeus move Odin. I know that was really recent, but that was probably one of my favorite lines from the season.
One of my favorite things to do now has been to take whatever joke we cackled at during the episode and immediately make a meme of it when I get home from recording and send it to you guys. Last week it was the blood-sucking ghouls instead of vampires.
So
say it. Blood-sucking ghoul.
From Twilight,
Yeah, so we always have great jokes coming out of this. And like I said earlier, we finally got together pretty much a couple episodes ago, and we're like, okay, we got to figure out if we're going to keep doing this show after this season. And we all agreed that we can go another year.
Yeah, Anthony and I are both really depressed.
Which we've been vocal about on previous episodes. When I say, when I joke about the void and stuff, you all know how big a deal mental health is for all of us. And sometimes it really kicks any one of us or multiple of us at the same time in the nuts. It's been a very hard summer for me. And I know for, and we all got shit going on, basically.
Yeah. Between that and the anxiety, it's we need to do it for our own sanity, but then also, no, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, when you're depressed, you don't want to do anything. But we power through. We are excited for what we are going to be doing in Season 5. Who knows what kind of crazy shit it's going to bring. The show has changed so much from season to season. It's an entirely different show than it was when it started or even when I joined the show. It's evolved so much, so I'm very excited to see what we get into next season. But just like Season 5 will begin, here's a little hint, Season 4 began with 31 Terror Tales, our classic traditional October 31 horror movie marathon. And what we decided to do this past year was break it down into 4 categories. Week 1 was Giallo Films, which I think we all loved because we love getting exposure to foreign horror that we are not super well versed in. I think we all really gravitated to the Giallo style of Italian horror, so we were all pretty blown away by especially the Argento stuff that we watched.
Well, I think we all walked away with different vinyl cuts of Giallo stuff.
Yeah, I have the Goblin record with the deep red stuff on it. Yeah,
I think in addition that prepped us for
Malignant.
Yeah. Which I don't think that I would have gotten nearly as much enjoyment.
Well, and now I see so much Giallo and other stuff that I never would have realized. Week 2, we did Hammer Films, which was a lot of fun.
Surprising.
Yeah, we got a lot of exposure to Christopher Lee's earlier career.
God damn, was he a
kind of the second
man.
wave of Universal monsters.
Him and what's
the
Peter Cushing.
Moff Tarkin. Yeah.
They were very handsome back in their heyday.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, really, Hammer Week just made me kind of horny. Week 3, we did horror comedies, which is a genre that I know a lot of horror fans don't love, but if I recall, that was a pretty good week. But
I've never really understood that hate on that because
I think they're very similar genres in terms of the raw emotional response they're trying to get out of you. So if it's done in a blend that is right, I think
so you have horror, you have comedy, but then most horror fans are huge fans of like 80s horror, which is all camp.
Mm-hmm.
That is the comedy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so to me, it's weird to hate on that distinction.
But comedy, I think, is the most subjective genre of movie. It's like it either makes you laugh or it doesn't.
That's fair.
I feel like the biggest takeaway that I had from that week is that Scary Movie does not hold up.
Oh yeah, we all realize that at least the first Scary Movie blows. I'm going to skip over week 4 because we just talked about Halloween movies, which we always do. We saw Dune and paired it up with Lamb. One was a wonderful theatrical experience by the great Denis Villeneuve.
And then the other one was screened in my home using the A24 screening room.
Nice little trip into like seeing how the A24 screening thing works. But we were kind of all falling asleep while watching it. And then we were like, well, maybe the bonus feature thing has some interesting stuff, and it's literally just someone shaving a sheep.
Yeah.
For like a half hour.
Very A24, not us.
Yeah, but I loved Dune, and I'm very excited for Dune Part 2, Tune. Yeah. In episode 6, we talked about Last Night in Soho and paired that with Antlers. Both movies that I am in retrospect kind of lukewarm on. I think Last Night in Soho has a lot going for it, but it's not even close to my favorite of Edgar Wright's movies. I would say that's probably either Shaun of the Dead or Baby Driver. And Antlers was fine. It just didn't really push that concept as far, and we had been waiting for that movie for fucking ever.
Yeah, it was almost a New Mutant situation.
Yeah, might as well call it Old Antlers. Yeah. Yeah, we did some horror redemptions. We talked about some stuff that I can't see in the show notes, so I don't remember what it was, but we redeemed ourselves on some horror movies this year. Do you know what those were?
I can look it up in our notes.
In the meantime, we watched one of Tone's uncaught gems, Incident in a Ghostland.
Which
was hit and miss.
Mr. Gigi covered on his YouTube channel recently,
video,
and I watched it, and he had very similar thoughts. It's like there's some cool stuff.
This might have gone too far in some places.
Yeah, but this was a little much.
So some of the misses that we covered, I don't know if this is those ones specifically, but Bride of Frankenstein, Reanimator, Amityville for me.
You were very disappointed by Amityville, if I recall.
I think the world is disappointed by that.
But I do.
But there's so many of those. They have like Amityville in space. Like they have.
There's a new one every month, basically.
Yeah. John, you got to watch Hush for the first time.
Oh,
Jealous.
Yeah, jeez.
Phantasm and The Invitation. So yours were basically bangers.
Yeah, killer.
Twan, you got to watch Carrie, Don't Look Now, and Let the Right One In.
All fantastic movies.
Very surprising for me that you haven't seen those.
Well, considering he'd seen the remake of 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
We did not finish out our shameful misses for Sci-Fi, but the ones that we did watch were... I got 2 knocked out just because of other stuff that we covered. Galaxy Quest and The Fly. John, you watched Coherence, and Anthony, you watched Brazil.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So we still got some meat on those bones, which we will have to finish off next season and then see if we're going to do another set.
Yeah, we covered the Ghostbusters franchise in preparation for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which we then also covered.
I remember being disappointed by 2 and surprised
by how much I didn't hate the remake.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The reimagining.
The 2016 version.
Yes.
How did you feel about the Ghostbusters franchise, John?
The first one is a seminal classic. It will stand the test of time as one of the greatest comedies ever released. But I felt like I said, there was a lot of stuff that I found cringy about the 2016 version, Answer the Call, as we called it. But there was also a lot there.
Yeah,
I was surprised by that. It was very overlong. It runs on for a solid 30 minutes longer than it should.
Yeah.
But overall, the cast had chemistry, which is about what you can ask for. And then the new one, I found it very heartwarming. I thought that
the cockles of my heart.
It's a nostalgia bait. Sure, it does have its flaws, but overall,
yeah,
I think I got teared.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of that father-son Kamehameha at the end.
Yeah.
And then we talked about Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which we kind of in Todd Browning's talked about being a shit movie, so we don't need to go into that too much. We covered the entire Child's Play franchise.
That was this season, huh?
God damn, what a surprisingly solid series.
Yeah, I think we all kind of see, even Zig was he's a big fan of the Chuck. We were all kind of blown away by how this quickly rocketed up to, at least for me, one of my favorite
slasher
series.
Yeah. I mean, 3 is the lone black sheep. I would say I wasn't super big into Seed, but I could see myself watching that movie on a whim if I had the right mindset.
Not a big fan of Seed, John.
But the rest of the franchise, like I said, is all very solid.
For it to have its
It too is it's a Stephen King property.
It's 1, 2, 3 trilogy, and then kind of fade out, come back with this new blueprint, and be successful with those 2 movies.
Bride is so good,
more or less. Then to go away again, and then come back and revamp itself a 3rd time, and continue to be just as good, if not better.
That's a testament to Don Mancini.
And then come back as a television show that worked so well that it's already been greenlit and will be coming out soon with the 2nd season.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah.
We talked about Spider-Man No Way Home, which, needless to say, I think we all had a fucking blast with.
Yeah, outside of my bubble guts during that movie, yeah, fantastic.
Oh, I forgot you had to run away.
Right? Oh yeah.
But
I went way down the hall because Regal has a 2nd bathroom. That is very private.
The secret bathroom.
I had let out so much evil.
We talked about the Matrix franchise and the Matrix
Resurrections.
Resurrections.
Oh, we called it Regurgitations.
Regurgitations, yeah.
Should have been called Rebooted, dude.
Massive fan of the original. I think the original Matrix is basically a masterpiece. And then the 2nd, 3rd one are fine, and I hated the new one.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say about those movies.
It's a sliding scale this way.
Yep. Boom. We talked about Guillermo Del Toro in general. I think we covered Crimson Peak, Pan's Labyrinth, and Chronos. In order for us to talk about Nightmare Alley, I think we were all quite impressed with the other movies that we watched and very disappointed with Nightmare Alley, especially as a massive Del Toro fan who has seen him do the Bruce Campbell type thing, on stage talking about the movie that we're watching. Very cool guy.
And that's kind of a direction that we want to take part of the Terror Tales in next season, is kind of diving into directors, but we'll talk more about that at the end.
Yeah, we talked about Scream, the new Scream, which I think we all talked about in Todd Browning's being a great surprise and a pretty awesome movie.
Didn't we do a retrospective for that as well? We covered the entire franchise.
It just says Scream, and I can't tell if that means all of them. Or
I believe it was all 5 of them fuckers.
Cool. Well, we love all the Scream movies.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say about
it. Is
that.
The most consistent series that's ever been released.
I will say, watching it for this round, it gave me a whole new appreciation for 3 that I did not have. And I think if you go thinking that movie is just a comedy and it's going to be off the rails, it's not a horror movie anymore at that point. It changes.
Yeah,
it is the bride of that franchise.
Yeah, and that's the one where Jay and Silent Bob show up.
Yeah,
it just gets so up its own meta ass in that movie, but it's great. We talked about Slender Man, the urban legend in general, went into what creepypastas are. We talked about the Slender Man movie that was terrible, hot, cold, super crazy garbage. We talked about the tragedy of Macbeth. We decided to go a little bit out of our horror wheelhouse and said, this one has witches. And I think we all had a great time with Tragedy of Macbeth. Yeah. Gorgeous fucking movie. We did a Philip K. Dick Down where we talked about...
Is that what we called it?
Yeah, yes. The Philip K. Dick Down. I think that was the first time we started getting into the silly titles, and then it kind of carried on. But yeah, I did a Philip K. Dick Down where we talked about some Philip K. Dick movies.
We did
Total Recall, Minority Report, and...
A third one.
Go listen to the episode if you want to know.
Yeah,
we talked about Netflix's... No, we talked about the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise this season.
Holy hell.
I was trying to think of what my least favorite franchise that we went through was.
It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre by a lot.
Predator was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Because there's just more hits.
There's just more. There's more Texas. And it's just 1 and 2. And then for me, everything else is a sliding scale downward.
Yeah. We talked about Matt Reeves' The Batman, which I have not gone back to rewatch since seeing it in theaters.
I ain't got 3 hours.
Yeah, because I ain't got 3 hours. But I remember being real happy with the way that it turned out. It didn't amaze me, but I liked the way that it turned out.
Pleased.
Yeah.
Pleased as punch.
We talked about Ty West. I think we covered The Innkeepers, we covered House of the Devil, and we covered X.
I think House of the Devil is still his best movie.
Oh, yeah. By a lot.
I still feel like X is pretty sick.
We talked about Morbius. and how, as the title suggests for that episode, Morbius sucks. So that's all I got to say about
He's a
that.
vampire.
Yeah.
And the movie's bad.
Well, actually, he's a blood-sucking ghoul.
The movie is Todd Browning Award winning terrible.
That is true.
We talked about The Ring versus Ringu, which was a fun episode because I'm a massive fan of The Ring, and I had never seen Ringu. And I still think that it's one of those few examples where I think the remake is a much better movie.
We did a remake. It was like an entire remake comparison month, wasn't it?
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Episode 28, we talked
Pretty
about...
sure, yeah, because we did like the Blob and shit, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway.
No, I'm not saying it here. Episode 28, we talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once. An episode titled Damn Daniels. We don't need to say any more about that. We talked about Poltergeist, Phantasm, and Don't Look Now. I think that was a Redemptions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would have had to been.
We talked about North by Northman, which I think we were all very happy. Another case of, much like Jordan Peele, a 3 for 3 for a director that we're a big fan of with Robert Eggers. I loved The Northman. I'm very excited to go back and check it out because it's been a while.
It has been. And I think at least you and I got pretty into some of their videos that they were making with Eggers and Skarsgård, like behind the scenes and how he constructed those scenes, and blown away. Master filmmaking.
Yeah, nearing the more modern day of the season, we did our Sam Raimi. Talked about the Evil Dead franchise and the career of Sam Raimi. Oh, no, we just talked about the Evil Dead and the career of Sam Raimi, but we did do a commentary track on Army of Darkness.
And we also talked about Darkman.
Yeah, we talked about, for this whole Sam Raimi, we talked about Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse Boogaloo, which we were kind of tepid on, I think. We talked about Spider-Man 2, What Those Arms Do, which we were all massive fans of, and we did a commentary for Spider-Man 3 as a double commentary month, I believe, because we had fucked up on...
Because we done did goof.
We've been known to fuck up.
Yeah, we talked about Drag Me to Hell, which is a fucking great movie. We talked about The Fly and how it ripped off Morbius. we compared the original Fly to the remake because this was the start of Creature Camp. See, we're almost caught up.
Creature Camp,
we had Crimes of the Snatch, where we talked about crimes of humanity and crimes of the future, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Jurassic Times for Call for Jurassic Measures. We talked about the Jurassic Park films, and then followed that up with an episode, A New World of Gold Blooms and Monsters, where we talked about the Jurassic World trilogy.
I would say if I had to pick between the two trilogies, I would go with the first one.
Yes, on Hundo P.
I wouldn't touch that new trilogy with a 49.5-foot pole. We had a thing-along where we compared all three versions of The Thing. The Thing from Another World, John Carpenter's The Thing, and the 2011 Thing.
Newsflash, 82 is the best one by a mile.
Yeah, but not... I don't hate the remake, and the original's pretty damn good, too. We did an episode called Big Ass Monster Attacks, where we talked about Godzilla and compared it to Cloverfield as a kind of giant monster comparison between...
Cloverfield holds up so much.
And I think we were all really blown away with how emotional and good the original Godzilla is.
Yeah. I want to go back real quick and say that the original Body Snatchers really blew me away.
Yeah, I know that was a highlight of Creature Camp for you.
Yeah. That was a fantastic movie.
We had John's probably most uncomfortable episode of the entire show, where we talked about arachnophobia and them.
I love that. It was like, yeah, face your fears, and we've done nothing to tackle either of ours.
Yeah, but how do we give you the experience of death?
Or home invasion. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah, and mine is... I mean, I've seen the movie Underwater, which is about basically thalassophobia.
And you've seen the Mothman Prophecy.
And the Mothman Prophecies.
I watched it all in one sitting, no pauses, and just let it ride.
Except Kevin's.
His pauses.
His pauses.
We had an episode called WAP, Wet and Prehistoric, where we talked about The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and Bong Joon-ho's The Host.
And that'd be WAP.
We went on and on about how amazing Ray Harryhausen's effects were in Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Since that episode, it's come up in several other things that I've watched.
That's the wonder of doing this show, is that once the more educated we get in the genre, the more everything connects.
I believe it's the first thing we've ever covered on the show with Ray Harryhausen's animation in it, though.
Weird. We should do more next season.
Yes.
We talked about Nope and how it's hella dope.
And people argued with us on the internet And we said, no,
they didn't really argue with us. They shared their opinion.
And then catching up to the most recent episodes, we talked about the Predator franchise, as previously mentioned, how that compared with Texas Chainsaw Massacre for quickest nosedive for a franchise, though I did enjoy Predators. And we really enjoyed our next episode's feature, which was Prey.
We did.
On Hulu.
I would watch that again right now.
Mm-hmm. And our most recent episode was Bodies, 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 which we were on. We had a little Civil War, brother fighting brother in that episode. But
kind of middling.
Yeah, but you'll have to go and listen to that one. But that's the whole season, and listening it that way and going through it, holy shit.
Yeah. We covered a lot.
We
And that's
did
not
a lot.
even including all the shit we did on our bonus episodes, which was mostly making trivia, but then also covering massive television programs.
Yeah,
including
covered all
Stranger Things,
of Stranger
Obi-Wan.
Things, Obi-Wan, covered the new season of Umbrella Academy on Patreon. Yeah, it's been a busy season, and I think we all deserve a nice little break.
A break.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit
we'll
about
have a break.
let's talk a little bit about what the listeners can expect and the viewers can expect next season.
Season 5, obviously we're going to try to finish out our redemptions. In addition to that, we're going to start off with 31 Terror Tales, which has now become
chain rattle.
pretty much a tradition for us in that regard. What we're going to try to do in addition to the Terror Tales is 31 Terror Tunes, which we've done every year for the last 3. How many volumes are there now?
There are 3 out currently, and there's a 4th one that's already in the works.
So there's just a compilation of 31 spooky songs that we have put together. Usually John puts them together. That kind of reflect the Halloween spirit. But what we're going to try to do this year with the movies is, I guess, kind of a life cycle of horror, if you will, where we're going to start with children's horror. Then we're going to go for the second week, do a Masters of Horror deep cuts, maybe stuff from Carpenter and Craven that we may not have seen that's not like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. For example, Christine might be on there. Maybe People Under the Stairs for Craven. And then the next week, we're going to do Stephen King movies, which I guess also could be Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that he's done. We're kind of looking for deeper cuts, not the mainstream stuff, because we've
covered
seen
a lot,
it.
yeah.
We've seen Pet Sematary, right? Is that King?
The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shining, right. And then for the last week, we are going to do zombies, and we really want deep cuts on that because I think we've seen most of the mainstream stuff, if not all of the mainstream stuff for that. You a little bit more well-versed with stuff like One Cut of the Dead and everything like that. But
yeah, very excited for everybody to check that out if we decide to do that. But yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a list of lots of possibilities for you guys to choose from. Much like with the Todd Browning Awards, we will link out to a survey so everybody can vote on what they want us to cover for those weeks. And after we take our September break, we will come back full of young, dumb, and full of
energy.
Vigor. Yeah. For season 5. And but for now, we're the sun's getting real low.
Big guy.
And yeah, the Sandman's coming for us. But if you want more material from us in the meantime, if you miss us, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/porcelainpeak. We would love to have your support and your fucking money.
Only $5, guys, and you get hours and hours of additional content.
Yeah, but we're covering Sandman over there through the break, and we will have another commentary of some sort for you guys to listen to soon.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, check out our back catalog, go back to previous seasons, tell us what shit you enjoy that we've forgotten we ever did.
There's more trivia than you could fucking shake a stick at over there as well.
Yeah, you can get
it's only going to be about 4 weeks, so
yeah, don't miss us too much.
We'll be back in October.
That's correct. So we'll see you then. Thanks again for watching and or listening. We appreciate it every time. I've been Tone.
I've been John.
And I've been the now 4th reincarnation of the internet darling. I will now pass on and be reincarnated, regenerated even into a new version. Maybe I'll be Ginger next time. Anthony.
All right. Well, we'll see you in about a month. Thanks.
Keep it creepy.
That's a wrap, motherfucker. That's a wrap, boys. Solid season, fellas. exclusive episodes, early access, merch, and to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Porcelain Peak.
Thanks to all our patrons for the support, and special thanks to producers Chuck, Rob, Ashley, and Michael.
You can find Porcelain Peak on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn.
Wherever you listen, don't forget to rate, review, share, and subscribe so you never miss a thrilling episode.
Special thanks to Roger Jackson for introducing the show, and to Jeff For Real for composing the Porcelain Peak opening and closing song.
All content and episodes are written, produced, designed, and edited by the Porcelain Peak team, consisting of Anthony Perez, John Brasher, and Anthony Silva.
This has been here words for Weirdos Production.